you about 3 of the children in Mrs. Jewell's class on the 30th story of Wayside School.
But before we get to them, there's something you want to know. Wayside School was accidentally built sideways.
It was supposed to be only 1 story high, with 30 classrooms all in a row. Instead, it's 30 stories high, with 1 classroom on each story.
The builder said he was very sorry.
Our first story is about Joe. One day, Mrs. Jewell kept him in from recess.
Joe, you're going to have to learn how to count. But Miss Jules, I already know how to count. Let me go to recess. First count to 10.
Joe counted to 10.
6, 8, 12. 1, 5, 2, 7, 11, 3, 10. No, Joe, that's wrong. No, it isn't. I counted till I got to 10. But you're wrong. I'll prove it to you.
She put down 5 pencils.
How many pencils do we have here, Joe?
Joe counted the pencils.
4, 6, 1, 9, 5. There are 5 pencils, Miss Jules. That's wrong. How many pencils are there? 5. That's what I said. May I go to recess now? No, you got the right answer, but you counted the wrong way. You were just lucky.
She set down 8 potatoes.
How many potatoes, Joe?
Joe counted the potatoes.
7, 5, 3, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. There are 8 potatoes, Miss Jules. No, there are 8. But that's what I said. May I go to recess now? No, you got the right answer, but you counted the wrong way.
She put down 3 books.
Count the books, Joe.
Joe counted the books.
1,000, a million, 3. 3, Miss Jules. Correct. May I go to recess now? No. May I have a potato? No. Listen to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good.
She put down 6 erasers.
Now count the erasers, Joe, just the way I showed you.
Joe counted the erasers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10, Miss Jules. No. Didn't I count right? Yes, you counted right, but you got the wrong answer. This doesn't make any sense. When I count the wrong way, I get the right answer. And when I count right, I get the wrong answer. Ugh.
Mrs. Jewell hit her head against the wall 5 times.
How many times did I hit my head against the wall, Joe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You hit your head against the wall. No. 4, 6, 1, 9, 5. You hit your head, but
Mrs. Jewell shook her head no and said,
yes, that's great.
Just then, the bell rang.
Oh, darn!
said Joe.
I missed recess.
Our second story is about Bebe.
Bebe was the fastest drawer in Mrs. Jewell's class. She could draw a cat in less than 45 seconds, a dog in less than 30, and a flower in less than 8 seconds.
But of course, Bebe never drew just 1 dog, or 1 cat, or 1 flower.
Art was from 12:30 to 1:30. Why, in that time, she could draw 50 cats, 100 flowers, 20 dogs, and several eggs or watermelons.
You see, it took her the same time to draw a watermelon as it did an egg.
Kelvin sat next to Bebe. He didn't think he was very good at art. It took him the whole period just to draw 1 airplane.
So instead, he just helped Bebe. He was Bebe's assistant.
As soon as Bebe would finish 1 masterpiece, Kelvin would take it from her and set down a clean sheet of paper. Whenever her crayon ran low, Kelvin was ready with a new crayon.
That way, Bebe didn't have to waste any time. And in return, Bebe would draw 5 or 6 airplanes for Kelvin.
It was 12:30, time for art.
Bebe was ready. On her desk was a sheet of yellow construction paper. In her hand, a green crayon.
Kelvin was ready. He held a stack of paper and a box of crayons.
Ready, Calvin? I mean, baby, sorry.
Ready, Calvin. All right, class, said Mrs. Jewell. It's time for art.
She She'd hardly finished her sentence when Bebe had drawn a picture of a leaf.
Calvin took it from her and put down another piece of paper. Red.
Calvin handed Bebe a red crayon.
Blue. He gave her a blue crayon.
They were quite a pair. Their teamwork was remarkable.
Bebe drew pictures as fast as Calvin could pick up the old paper and set down the new.
A fish,
An apple.
3 cherries.
Bing,
Bing.
bing.
At 1:30, Mrs. Jules announced,
Okay, class, art is over.
Bebe dropped her crown and fell over on her desk.
Calvin sighed and leaned back in his chair. He could hardly move.
They had broken their old record. Bebe had drawn 378 pictures. They lay in a pile on Calvin's desk.
Mrs. Jules walked by.
Calvin, did you draw all these pictures?
No, maybe drew them all.
Well, then what did you draw?
I didn't draw it.
Why not? Don't you like art?
I love art.
I don't understand.
It would have taken me the whole period just to draw one picture, and Baby would only have been able to draw 100 pictures. But with 2 of us working together, she was able to draw 378 pictures. That's a lot more art.
Bebe and Calvin shook hands.
No, that isn't how you measure art. It isn't about how many pictures you have, but how good the pictures are. Why, a person could spend their whole life drawing just one picture of a cat. And in that time, I'm sure Bebe could draw 1,000,000 cats.
2 million.
But if that one picture is better than each of Bebe's 2 million, then that person has produced more art than Bebe.
Bebe looked like she was going to cry. She picked up all the pictures from Calvin's desk and threw them in the garbage.
Then she ran from the room, down all the stairs, and out onto the playground.
Louis, the nice yard teacher, spotted her.
Where are you going, Bebe?
I'm going home to draw a picture of a cat.
Will you bring it to school and show it to me tomorrow?
Tomorrow? By tomorrow, I doubt we finish with even one whisker.
Our final story is about Calvin. One day, Mrs. Jules said,
Calvin, I want you to take this note to Miss Zarvis for me.
Miss Jarvis?
Yes, Miss Zarvis. You know where she is, don't you?
She's on a 19th story.
That's right, Calvin. Take it to her.
Calvin didn't move.
Well, what are you waiting for?
She's on the 19th story.
Yes, we've already established that fact.
The 19th story.
Yes, Calvin, the 19th story. Now take it to her before I lose my station.
But Miss Jules.
Now, Calvin.
Yes, ma'am.
Calvin walked out of the classroom and stood outside the door.
He didn't know where to go.
As you know, when the builder built Wayside School, he accidentally built it sideways, but he also forgot to build the 19th story.
He built the 18th and the 20th, but no 19th. He said he was very sorry.
There was also no Miss Zarvis.
Miss Zarvis taught the class on the 19th story. Since there was no 19th story, there was no Mrs. Zarvis.
And besides that, as if Calvin didn't have enough problems, there was no note.
Mrs. Jules had never given Calvin a note.
Boy, this is just great. I'm supposed to take a note that I don't have to a teacher that doesn't exist, who teaches on the stories that was never built.
He didn't know what to do.
He walked down to the 18th story,
Then back up to the 20th,
then back down to the 18th.
and back again to the 20th.
There was no 19th story.
There had never been a 19th story.
There would never be a 19th story.
Calvin walked down to the administration office on the first story. He decided to put the note in Miss Zarvis's mailbox.
But there wasn't one of those either. That didn't bother Calvin too much though, except he didn't have a note.
He looked out the window and saw Louis, the yard teacher, shooting baskets.
Louis, will you know what to do?
Calvin went outside.
Hey, Louis.
Hi, Calvin. Do you want to play a game?
I don't have time. I have to deliver a note to Miss Jarvis on the 19th story.
Now, what are you doing all the way down here?
There is no 19th story.
Then where's Miss Zarvis?
There is no Miss Jarvis.
What are you going to do with that note?
That is my note.
I understand.
That's good, because I shouldn't.
It's very simple. You're not supposed to take no notes to no teachers. You already haven't done it.
Calvin still didn't understand.
I'll just tell Mrs. Jules that I couldn't deliver it.
That's good. The truth is always best. Besides, I don't think I understand what I said either.
Calvin walked back up 30 flights of stairs to Mrs. Jules' class.
Thank you very much, Calvin. That was a very important note, and I'm glad I was able to count on you.
Yes, but you don't see it.
The note was very important. I told Miss Jarvis not to meet me for lunch.
Don't worry.
Said Calvin. So now you know about Wayside School. Some people say these stories are strange and silly.
That is probably true.
But when the children at Wayside School hear stories about us, they thought we were strange and silly.
And that's for sure.
Yeah.